Oops, I guess I did it again. I stayed out too late with all of my friends. You've been blowing up my phone. I bet I'm gonna get it when I get home.
Alex, a pleasure having the chance to speak with you, especially this is our first time getting a chance to talk. The only thing I'm just disappointed about is if this was a normal situation, you probably would have been in Toronto. You probably would have been here playing in one of our great clubs. And most likely, I'd be in the audience listening to your new single, Take It Out on Me, which congratulations on that. But it's a completely different world, my friend. Where are you right now, and how are you dealing with this whole COVID-19 situation?
Hey, Rudy. Well, it's such a pleasure to be on here. I'm out in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, so I'm a little ways away from you, out in Toronto there. But things are going okay. You're right. This whole COVID thing is really kind of messing with people's lives, but we're all in this together. And I would be playing out in Toronto. That's right. We would be out in touring and supporting this single. Things are just so much different for everybody, and that's the part that really does it does suck, to say the least, is not being able to sit down and shake hands and be there with you and with everybody else on a tour. So it's a little bit different overall. I'm doing as best as I can through all this.
I'm curious, though, career-wise, what were your plans before this whole thing really kicked in around March? What were your plans for the summer, and then how did it change?
Well, basically, I plan to be touring. I plan to schedule a whole radio tour for this. I was actually going to release the song even earlier, but I wanted to sort of see how things go. So I'm probably, maybe 2-3 months a little bit late on releasing this song from when I had originally planned. So I really just pulled the reins back on everything. It looked like it was going to be a good year for festivals, for being playing all over with festivals, promoting the single as well. That's not happening. So it's really that's how it's affected it is, like I mentioned earlier, not going on a radio tour and promoting the single, not playing at festivals, everything's online. It's just usually, so far, it's just been, one song here and there, promoting the single. So that, and that's been through Zoom or Skype or any of those online mediums. So it's definitely a lot different, and we've lost that personal touch. So that's a bit of a struggle sometimes, but we're making do. So it has changed in that, usually all my holidays and my time is spent performing and kind of almost even strategizing a little bit. But this year I took some time. I went to Jasper in BC, the national park out there, and did some camping, which I haven't done in years. So that was a great way to recharge. And, so I've just been trying to take, I've been trying to turn it around as positive as possible and do some writing, did a lot of housework, trying to get a green thumb. My fiance and I have been working a lot in our garden. So, I guess I've been doing some other things that I've probably been meaning to get to for a number of years. So, there's some silver lining, if nothing else.
Well, you know what? It sounds like you've definitely created your oasis. So I'm so happy that you've got that going on for yourself. It's such a different world going on right now with COVID-19. Racism is being spoken about in such a different way for the first time because of social media. We're seeing the good and the bad in people throughout this tough time. And, of course, the arguments back and forth, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Give me your thoughts on again, this different world, and how does it affect you, and what are you hoping for the best for everyone?
That is such a big question. I think bottom line is, just wear a mask. Whatever you believe, I think it's better to be safe than sorry. It's respectful to strangers and to people that you do know. I think that's an important thing. On the Black Lives Matter, that's an important that's an important thing that's really come up now, and we should all be aware of that. We should all be supporting that. My brother-in-law is from Senegal, Africa, so he's I actually asked him because I know I'm white, I know I'm privileged, and I do know that. And he said, one of the main things you can do is really, stop racism in its tracks. If it happens, if you see it, the best you can do is stop it right there. That's something I would have done anyway, but that's nice to hear, from him, what I can do to support, say, even just him directly. It does seem like the world is quite chaotic right now. So I think we're all just trying to do the best we can. I think if everybody is respectful to one another and, respect that people have different opinions, people have different viewpoints, but we can all work together as a planet and try and come to some conclusion on this craziness. I think people's emotions and everything have been heightened from, having to stay in. But it's, this is what we're living in right now. We just have to do the best we can.
I agree with you. I agree with every word that you have just said. And again, congratulations on the new single and the great career. So I want to get into right now the love of country music, and especially being part of such a great genre, the Canadian country music scene. Where did the love of country music first begin for you, and why?
I think it was probably when I was, at a very young age. My parents always had the AM radio going on. Mom was, if she's cooking in the kitchen or doing dishes, or her and dad are just kind of putzing around the house and us kids were playing, there was always an AM radio playing in the back. I'd spend a lot of time at my uncle and auntie's farm as well. So, we drive out there, there's country music on the radio there. I just always loved the wholesomeness of it and the storytelling of country music, and even the simplicity of it, I think is a very great thing. I like a lot of southern sounding songs as well. It's about sitting on a front porch swing and, sipping sweet tea. I don't know why, but I've always just really loved the imagery of that and kind of what it stands for. You just worked hard and you're just having this easy life. I kind of like stuff like that. And then as I would walk to school, I would make up songs. I don't know why. It was just something that I just did. And I assumed probably other kids were doing the same, but I don't know if they did. And then as time moved on, I was in a couple of bands through school. They were kind of pop rock bands, and I got kicked out of those. And so it was just, it was kind of this strange happening. I'm not sure. It was just serendipity, I guess, how it all kind of came together through the years. And I think about 2003, after I was no longer in any of those high school bands and I was out of high school, I just thought, I'm just going to go do this thing myself and start writing and see if I can really pursue this career. And here we are today. It's like how many years later I'm just plugging away and pushing and enjoying the journey as well.
But why did you not give up? Could have been very easy to do it.
Honestly, it was just the love of the music. And that's the thing. I think there was a point too that I was maybe like, I want to make money off of this. Well, if you're just chasing the money, you'll never get it. So, but I think for the most part, the majority of my time doing music was always about, the music. And then once I started playing live shows as well, I realized how much I like performing and how much I like entertaining. Again, even as a kid, I didn't mention this, but I was downstairs in mom and dad's basement, and I would crank up the stereo and pretend I was having a concert, for tons of people, and then I'd look upstairs, make sure nobody was coming downstairs, otherwise I'd be too embarrassed. So, and that was just, just something I did, but I think I just pushed on. I didn't even realize that I was pushing on. It's just something that I did, and I think I just loved it. I loved performing. I loved, bringing a song to life in the studio. I loved writing songs. I do love all this still. And then performing. And at some point I realized, okay, performing, it's satisfying me, but, we're here actually for the audience, and it's about them making memories. So, I started working on the set list and building that. So it kind of had this ebb and flow that we could sort of become one with the crowd even. We're playing this music that they're dancing to, and there's sort of this harmonious effect going on between us and the crowd, and I've always loved that.
2016 was a real important year for you, especially with the Saskatchewan Country Music Association Awards. What happened that year, my friend?
That year was a big year, and I had signed a management deal. I had signed a publishing deal, so I was getting paid to write songs. My management deal was out of Nashville, Tennessee, so it was a busy year. I was playing all over the place, and I did my first radio tour. I shot my first music video in Nashville. So it was probably the year that I was the busiest, but I also put the most effort into that one as well. I had been nominated for a number of years in a number of categories through the years, and this was totally unexpected too in 2016. So it was so special to me when they called my name, not once but twice that year. And so even in my speeches, I got kind of emotional because I didn't want to forget anybody. I thought, well, it's taken me this year to win 2 awards, or this long to win 2 awards. I got to get like everything out right now. So I was probably just a bumbling idiot on those award speeches, but that 2016 was such a big year for me for sure.
So you got Male Vocalist of the Year and Fan Choice Entertainer of the Year. I'm just curious, and I ask this rarely, but I think this is a point where this would work well too, because you've mentioned a number of years waiting to hear your name called, not hearing it. What is it like physically, emotionally, and mentally when you hear your name called, having to realize that your name has been announced as a winner, and then you have to figure out, I have to walk up on stage, receive this award, and speak?
Oh, yeah.
Artists have told me it's almost like a slow motion reflex that happens. Some say they don't even remember. What was it like for you?
A little bit of all of that, like the slow motion, absolutely. It was pretty surreal to hear my name being called. I almost didn't believe it. It was like, that obviously is a mistake. But it's like kind of electrifying, but then it's also terrifying at the same time because, you're excited and you're like, wow, every my peers recognize me for something, for my hard work. It means so much. But then, then I think the thing I was worried about was forgetting anybody. Because it's like it goes all the way down to my parents. I want to thank my parents, the band, the producer, the writer, anybody that I've written with, managers. You almost want to thank any teachers that have helped you through the way. It's like, it's unbelievable. Definitely there's like sort of this slow motion feeling. I think your excitement turns to fear, and then you give your speech, and then there's this total drain because your adrenaline was so high. It's just, and like almost a sense of relief too for some reason, and maybe that's because you won and you're finished your speech. So
that I'm going to jump in. I love that story. But here's the thing, though. Now that it's one thing when you get the nominations, which is great. And, of course, you're out, you're performing, you're doing these things. But when you win also, is there pressure then? Because as much as we love the music, we love writing the music, we love performing it, this is still a business. Does your perspective change? Does that winning change the way you write music? Or can you push that aside and go, okay, this was great, but I still have the love of what I'm doing and I want to continue what I'm doing?
Yeah, through the years, it was always nice to be nominated, and I wanted to win, but I kind of came to terms with not winning. And, it was sort of a very nice thing. I was very happy and humbled that, my peers recognized me. So that was nice, but I don't think it really changed anything for me. I'm quite positive it didn't. I didn't feel any need to change anything I was doing, really. I thought, if anything, okay, well, this just means I have to ramp things up and work even harder for next year. So, I could potentially get another award, but which hasn't happened. But again, life happened. I moved to another city that next year, and things kind of slowed down a little bit when I made that move, and life gets in the way and things happen. But as far as perspective, I don't think anything really changed too much for me.
Well, it did change a little bit because it helped that path lead to what we're going to talk about now. Take It Out on Me, your new single, and again, congratulations on that. What's the inspiration behind the new song?
Well, this song was written by 3 Nashville heavyweights. So John Ozier, Brad Tersey from Old Dominion, and John King, who's written with Randy Houser. When I had my management deal back in 2016, we were looking for outside songs, and it was the first experience I had looking for outside songs. Because prior to that, I had written everything before. And so there's part of me that was kind of, I don't really want to release somebody else's song. But we had to talk about it. And my manager, Leslie, had said, well, we'll just do this outside song, if we find one that works and fits with your other stuff, and then that will just sort of take it to the next level. And you're right with the awards. Yes, they definitely do open up other doors for sure. And, this is definitely, without those awards, chances are they might not have pitched the song to us. Either way, John Ozier, he was the VP of Ole Publishing at the time. He's no longer with them. But he had pitched us the song, and instantly we loved it. This was the song that we wanted, was Take It Out on Me. And this was probably back in 2016, maybe early 2017. And so we went to the publishing companies, got the okay from 2 of the publishers to record the song, and then the third one never gave the okay. So we just were pretty disappointed and kind of took a step back. And then here we are, 3-4 years later, and I had asked it just out of the dark, is that song still available, or had it been recorded? What's going on with it? And sure enough, all 3 publishers signed off on it, and we recorded it. And I sent it to John Ozier just to kind of say, hey, here's the song. Thanks for letting me record it. And he was absolutely blown away with it. So that, to me, to have one of the writers be blown away by your interpretation and recording of the song, that's pretty special, and I think that makes all parties happy.
Incredible story. Lyrically, what is the song about?
Well, this song, it's really just about the power and the passion dynamics in a relationship. So, it could be a fiery type of relationship. The guy stays out a little bit late and then comes home, and, there's this passionate moment between the 2 of them. The thing that drew me to the song is that the melody and the writing of it fits very close to a song that I would write. And of course, I wish I wrote this one. That's the thing. It's like, drives me nuts when I don't write a song that I love. And but this song in particular, it's just about that power and passion dynamics. And the cool thing about this one is that the female has the lead role in it. It's sung by a male, but she's sort of, in control here in this situation. And that's what drew me to it. I thought it was kind of a unique take on a song that's sung by a male.
Baby, take it out on me. Love to see a good girl lose control. Well, I know you're about to explode, so push, baby, push me up against the hood of this truck. I know you know where to lay the blame, baby. Take it out on me.
EP album following this?
I think so. Yeah, I have about 7 songs, but maybe 4 that I released, and then 3 sitting around that have yet to be released that I would probably put on an EP. And yeah, I'm looking towards that. So we'll see. No details yet. Again, with the whole COVID thing, a lot of plans have been put on halt a little bit, or at least just put on the back burner a bit. But definitely, that is something that looking forward to and pushing towards eventually.
In the meantime, will there be any virtual performances happening?
Absolutely. Actually, August the 7th, I'm doing a release show through Instagram Live and Facebook Live, and it's just promoting this current single. I'm going to play some of the old songs and some of the new songs, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Of course it is. Please. Are you kidding? My friend, I just had a blast talking to you. I can't wait to hear you performing in on the virtual scene. So I think it's going to be a blast, and I love everything that you're doing, man. You're keeping us happy throughout this tough time. And to follow everything that you're doing, social media is the place to go. Where do we go to follow you?
If you just go to www.alecrunions.com, in the top right-hand corner, I have all my links to my Instagram, my Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. And I think that's all of the social media platforms. But it's all there, so you can click there. You can also download the song from the website as well. So it's all right there, kind of a one-stop shop.
Alex, thank you so much for doing this interview, my friend. And like I said, with this tough time, I appreciate you taking the time out to speak with me. Congratulations on the new music again. And as I've told everybody, man, I am just so hoping that in sometime in the future we can do another interview, but it won't be over the phone, it won't be Zoom, it won't be any of that stuff. It'll just be you and I sitting down in person, one-on-one, and having a great chat.
I can't wait for that, Rudy.
My friend, you take care. Be safe. Hope your family is safe, too. And, again, thank you so much for the interview.
Thanks, Rudy. Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.